lost their touch. You rigged the game, you changed the rules. Gaslit the world, played us for fools. But tides have turned, the storm is near. Cry all you want, we're still here. Faithful, fuck around and find out. You tried to rule, but your time ran out. Faithful, the silent will stay quiet now. We're taking back what you burned to the ground.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Goof On tonight. It is Tuesday. It is 11/11/25. And we're alive. How do you guys feel? It is 11/11. You know what that means. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-dur. Just a number that the numerologists say. I'll be in your head before you wake up. Yeah, I know I had to put eye droops in my eyes. I don't like this. I gotta do some. I think I need to get some Botox. Now I know why people get Botox, to get rid of these lines that pop up. I'm just gonna let nature take its course. Anyway, I digest. Oh, I didn't hit this? Boop. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. So tonight I want to talk about a few things. You know how we do. Not dreams. I don't want to talk about dreams. I get it. I want to talk about the reality possibly being in the dreams themselves. Like, maybe not reality, but another reality we're from, have visited, will visit, did visit, but as someone else, who knows? FAFO. Ooh. You see what I did there? I said this song. Yeah, never mind. Nobody cares. Avi Loeb. We're going to do a little bit of Avi Loeb. We have to. He's in the news. And weaponized tonight? This could be, and probably will be a 2-hour show. Sorry. For those of you in the other countries, sorry. I know, it's going to be like 9 in the morning when we're done over there. Where, Rome? Italy? Same place. But, you know, I really don't know about dreams because they're so bizarre. Like, they're real to me. When I have a dream, I'm telling you, man, I don't know why I'm made this way, but my dreams don't feel fake. They all feel very real. They're all in color. Anybody who says their dreams in black and white makes me think they're not actually watching their dreams. Huh? Well, I never had one in black and white, and I, quite frankly, don't understand why people say they see it in black and white. I don't get it. I think people are lying. I do, because it doesn't make sense. You don't live in black and white. Why would you see? Oh, because your chromosomes and your onchrons, they're all sleeping. No. Omicrons? What is this, editing? Your chromosomes. So it's weird how, you know, maybe there is some connection between the dream world and reality. And are we getting hints of things that could guide us in the right direction? Because I haven't seen them. Not in my dreams. And if they're there, to give us hints. I don't really understand how a guy who is enormously big, 8 foot tall, reminds me of Gorilla Monsoon for those wrestler fans out there, knows the bald guy with hair all over his big body. Him putting these 3 fingers in my mouth. How is that supposed to tell me anything? What's the hint? Hey, Rich, that sounds a little bit too personal. Maybe you stay out of jail. I am. Gosh. Who's here tonight? Yeah, it's been weird. We're not getting recommended anymore. Like, I thought Goofon was like free of the Shadow Bee, but I think after I did what I said to Lou, I think he called in and complained. Yeah. But let's see who's here tonight. We'll have fun. David Wilcox, not Wilcock. Welcome to the show. Metalhead, what do you say? How do you be? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. The JJ on J, JJ Angel. Welcome to the show. Kelly Lewis, the EW is here. Get it? EWIS? I know it's old. UFO 91566. Welcome to the show. Glenn Collins, the nicest hellos ever. Welcome to the show. Cindy Krause, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to this show. Samo, Goofonian Rockstar. How you doing, Chief? Good to see you. What do you say, me? What? Nothing. Good to see me. All right, if I didn't say your name, doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I got a lot of show to do. What's up there, Brian Yates? Yeah, and we do. Rich, what do you say? Lead food? How you doing? Hey, you what? All right. Well. What am I thinking? Let's begin. I'm going to start off with the Joe Rogan abducted. Yeah, wait until you see these. Why do they got to do this to us? This can't be real. Oh, wait a second. Oh. Hold on. I think it's a big video, long video. Let me double check. Oh, it's vetted. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to play vetted then. I didn't see what was going on. All right, let's see what that's about.
Today, we are talking about this.
It's so hard to try to explain how strange this was, but I was in some weird corridor that looked like a building but was odd. Very strange. And I was encountering these beings. Like, there was communication going on, and I was really freaked out, and they were f***ing with me to lighten me up because I was freaked out. They're like,
Whoa, really? I don't remember hearing about this.
He had this crazy dream, and it was so
How exciting
different from any dream he's ever had. It felt so real, and he's talking about these beings, and
All right, I have to address this really quick, though, my guys and gals. Joe Rogan plays with his brain the way I want to play with mine. He delves into the spiritual world through medication. Right? I mean, what do they call that, guys? You know what it is. The hallucinogen. Yeah. I'm wondering if Joe Rogan, like when all these people do this, does it change your chemistry, your DNA? And will you... Now, I don't mean that has anything to do with his dreams, like your dreams after you do the hallucinogens. DMT. Thank you, Metalhead. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Hey, Nathan. from the Quantum Show. How you doing, Chief? Good to see you. So I'm wondering if it does that, and then like Joe Rogan may have unlocked something that allows him to communicate via sleep, subconscious, unconscious mind to a guy who's extremely skeptical like me, but wants to believe like me. And I say like me because I get it. He had an experience like me that may have changed him. Let's take a looky, listen. This is fascinating. Good job, Vetted. I wish I grabbed it.
Talking to him, he's in some weird, area that doesn't look like anything he's been in, and people think he's describing an abduction experience, right? He even talks about some like weird, pool or something with like these crocodile type creatures. I mean, water was involved, right? And he even said like the beings were sort of like taunting him a little bit, but at the same time trying to tell him, just calm down. There's nothing to be scared about here. It was just a very unusual sort of circumstance and dreams. And I've had lifelike dreams myself, even so much that like I'm talking in my sleep. My wife has had to wake me up like, dude, what's going on? I'm like, geez, you just interrupted me. I was winning the New York Marathon. Like I have dreams that they feel like real life to me. I haven't had any dreams where I feel like I got abducted, but who knows?
I was telling you before we get started that I had the most bizarre dream I've ever had in my life last night. The most realistic and most bizarre dream. And it's so hard to try to explain how strange this was. But I was in some weird corridor that looked like a building but was odd. Very strange. And I was encountering these beings that looked like people, but very different. They were very thin, and they were slightly on the tall side. And they had big heads, like larger than normal, with larger than normal eyes. But they looked like people, and they were playful, and they were scaring me. They scared me, and then they joked around, like we're just joking around. It was...
Doesn't that sound like something Joe Rogan and his friends would do? It's almost as if he's dreaming of an experience he may or may have had with his friends. They're all comedians, these guys, right? And he just like is saying, oh, they were playing around with me. And then they were like, we're just kidding. That sounds like something his friends would do, being comedians and all that. Interesting how the mind works, right? Maybe they're doing that to keep him on that familiar side. Oh, he understands comedy. We'll joke around with him. Hey, we chopped off your toe. Oh, they don't know. All right, here we go. Joe's funny.
The most realistic dream I've ever had in my life.
Wow. Yes.
And I woke up and I could not go.
Sorry, guys. I'll go back a few seconds, but it's true. And for those of you who have had these type of dreams, and I'm saying it's a dream, but we don't really know. It's so real. Everybody says it's so real. I never had a dream like it. Me too. I've had realistic dreams of drowning, falling off bridges, and all sorts of stuff. But when that thing came into my room twice in that week, whatever was happening with those dreams and that experience at that time in my life, it felt legit. It felt real. Like not a dream, like reality. It's bizarre. All right. You guys know what I mean. We all go through this as people. And the mystery just gets deeper the older you go, because then you start having some serious ass dreams about relationships. It's not about Power Rangers and your lunchbox. It gets serious, man. Right? You're like, oh my God, that was so real. Do I need to pay attention to this? Here we go. I backed it up a few seconds ago.
The most realistic dream I've ever had in my life. And I woke up and I could not go back I had to stay up. I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
Dude, that's the time I would get up. Both times that week. Okay, shh.
I just went to the gym and I worked out for a couple hours. And I was like, what the fuck was that? but it was very bizarre in that there was communication going on. It was like, God, I want to read into this because
Hey, Metalhead, I got chemtrails today too, but it was so windy. They still stayed in the sky, but they weren't covering the whole sky because they couldn't. That's interesting.
I know it's just a dream, but it was like, get comfortable with this.
You should read into it because it's a dream.
Wow.
So it doesn't make it right, but your subconscious is trying to tell you about something, and the fact that it felt very, very important means your subconscious thinks it's very, very important.
I woke up. I mean, I was tired, man. When I went to bed, I was tired. I was like beat down. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get some sleep. Because I had a long week, a lot of activities, workouts, this, that, the other.
He was in a coma.
3:30 in the morning, after whatever this was, woke me up so much that I just laid in bed for like another hour. And I was like, there is no way I'm going to sleep. I'm up forever. And then I just went and worked out. I worked out and
Like, why would something like this do this to him, of all people, right? Because he usually, I'm assuming, because of the way he talks, that if he did have a dream, he would just brush it off like, oh, another dream. This one, it felt real. So let me ask you this. 3i, Atlas, it's getting close. Let's say it's an alien mothership, for all intents and purposes. What if it's enhancing our abilities? Right? It's putting a net over the world, over the planet, a net of consciousness. Oh! A consciousness net. What? The Galactic Federation already did this? That's weird. We're going to talk about them too tonight.
I was hoping I would be exhausted after I worked out and I'd be able to relax. But it was like a couple hours after that I laid down and I took a nap for an hour before I came here.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Did you see a video, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, of some Chinese robots that seemed to be across on our side of the uncanny valley, that they walk with a gait that feels very human? Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that. Is that the latest?
I don't know. I've seen it a few times in the last couple of days. It sort of sounded to me like your dream might have been responsive.
All right, so this story is fascinating, right, that Joe is telling so far. And there's more to the clip, so stay with me. But do you think, just so far of what you heard, that does this sound like Joe Rogan was abducted by aliens here? I mean, clearly he had.
I'll ask you guys because he's asking it. Do you think Joe Rogan was abducted by aliens? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Joe Rogan was abducted by aliens. Do it now! We're going to do it live! We're doing it live! Oh, I didn't put a poll in the chit chat room. All right, let's do that. I'll put a poll in the chat. How do you like them apples? You hear the neighbor? He turned it off now. All right, here we go. Do you think Joe Rogan was abducted by aliens? All right, answer that and we'll get back. Oh, thanks for the ones on point. Yeah, I'm with you, Zach. Yep. Sorry. I'm having a regurg. Go.
Had what I would deem just, this lucid dream, right? That just felt like
Lucid.
reality. And Brett at the end there was talking about maybe, this robot video that he saw that's been going around, this kind of viral, and maybe he just was influenced by that. But then Joe's like, no, I haven't seen that, But then at the same time, you might have forgotten it, right? And they don't really show the video, but I went and looked for this video that Brett's talking about, and this may be it.
么声音？对，那个对电压
How's
模块
this?
的声音。
How's this alien? How the hell do you relate that to a dream like that, you Yoko Ono?
We're all gonna die, y'all. That's it. It's over.
Come on,
right?
what's
I mean,
this? He was looking at this? Oh my god, that looks real. It looks like a woman. That's not a robot. That's a person acting like a robot. Right? Right?
Like I said, the end is near.
No.
Right. I mean, if you're
Patrick,
walking down the street and you
no.
turn a corner and you see Arnold Schwarzenegger walking towards you with a black leather biker jacket and some of it, and this sort of like these crocodile things in the water, take a look.
These things felt very organic. Whatever this was, it felt like living organic beings that were like us. There was also a water element. It was hard to understand what the water element of it was, but there was some sort of an indication that there was water and that there was a protection from you going out into the water. But if you did go into the water, there's a bunch of predators in the water. But they weren't like, it wasn't like sharks. It was reptile, like crocodile type things that were in the water, and that they had been like feeding them and keeping them calm and like keeping them away. But whatever these beings were in my dream, they were like what humans could eventually be. That's what it felt like. If it didn't feel like a person, but like I don't feel like a monkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like that. It was very, very realistic. Like there was communication going on. And I was really freaked out. And they were fucking with me to lighten me up because I was freaked out. They're like, ah. And then they were like this, like, calm down, like, relax. It was so realistic. It was so realistic that when it was over, I wasn't sure what happened. Like, it wasn't like, whoa, what a fucked up dream. It was like, that was different. That was a different one.
Again, this is a fascinating story that Joe told. And, Brett's reaction is also like, interesting as well, because
Is that
he's
it?
taking it very seriously.
What's
because
this?
when
Hold
you have
on.
such a lucid dream like that,
Hi, my name is Greg.
Oh, vetted. Okay. Well, I'll put the link to that vetted video in the show description. That's a good little video to double check on if you want. I don't know, man. Joe Rogan talking about this like it really happened. It's interesting, but I always feel now, because of who Joe Rogan turned into, I feel this has nothing to do with anything other than a dream. You thought I was going to say it's a grift. Nah, he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't need to lie. And why would he lie? No reason to it. For it. All right, what is this? Nick Pope posted something? Is he still doing stuff? Oh, here's what he's saying. If the president ordered... All right, let me just pull it up for you guys. You can take a look. What the hell happened here? Get rid of that. Put this over on that screen. There you go, guy. Get that over there. Get this over here. Here we go. You hear my neighbor? Stupid. Plays the same 3 songs. It's awful. Just awful. All right, here we go. Whoops. There we go. So I don't know if you can read it, but if the president ordered anyone possessing information proving the reality of NHI visitation or interaction to disclose to, or, for example, the task force on the declassification of federal secrets, this would almost certainly override any of the laws, security regulations, NDAs, etc., etc., etc. And even if such a presidential order didn't give people quite enough assurance, POTUS, President of the United States, could issue a blanket preemptive pardon, which would almost certainly give total cover. No, guys, no. God, are we that stupid? Who's writing this? Have you ever heard of bullets? Have you ever heard of poison? I'm gonna get you. There's no protection. Zero. No protection for whistleblowers. I am telling you, whistleblower people, please, at least one of you I could save, watch this show. Do not tell us your already known secrets. What is that word? It's we've already heard it. We've already heard it. We don't need you to verify it. Stay at home with your family if you got one. Stay at home with your kids, your wife, your spouse, whatever. It's not worth it. We can give you protection. If Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp say they can give you protection, how? We know people. Yeah, well, so does this person. You can't trust anybody who's going to go give you oh my God. You would have to know somebody very shady who is not connected to the government, that despises the government, that is going to, just like Breaking Bad, the vacuum shop, give you an identification, give you a new life, give you a passport, give you an address to go live in Wyoming or something, maybe get a bar. No, hang low. It's terrible. Do not whistleblow at all. Absolutely don't. For UFOs anyway. It's ridiculous. You don't need to. And then here it says, and even if such a president, can we open that back up and put me in there? Thanks, Coach. And even if such a presidential order didn't give people quite enough assurance, POTUS could issue a blanket preemptive pardon. Oh, I already said that. Admittedly, none of this would apply if NHI-related programs are illegal. And if their gatekeepers threaten to take anyone out who discloses or take each other's family members, yikes. But despite occasional claims that such threats have been made, I don't believe this would happen. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Oh, I definitely do. Who's saying this? Nick Pope, of course. What does he care? There's no risk for you, Pope. What are you doing? Yes. Didn't you just see what happened on September 10th? Charlie Kirk? Hello. So if POTUS issued a disclosure order and a preemptive pardon as set out above, and no definitive smoking gun evidence was presented, I'd be virtually certain that no legacy programs, for example, relating to crash retrievals and reverse engineering on NHI visitation or interaction exist or have ever existed. Nick Pope? Wow. Can you believe this last paragraph? So if POTUS issued a disclosure order and a preemptive pardon, as set out above, and no definitive smoking gun evidence was presented, I'd be virtually certain that Oh, yeah, that makes sense, Nick Pope. What he's saying is, my peeps, is if there's no evidence of anything that anybody claims about UFOs, then there can't be any legacy programs to talk of. How can they exist without the evidence? They're just researchers? No, we got plenty of those. That's not what's going on. This is great. Good going, Nick Pope and Popesicle. Makes sense. This is why you don't need whistleblowers for ufology. Everything's already out there. There's no reason to put your life in danger over zippity-doo-dah unless you have evidence. And the materials, as Greer says. You have the material, you are going to win the POTUS Award. Huh? What? Talking. I got to show you this before I forget. I can't believe this guy. Rose Cuckold. I'm just going to show you. I don't even know if I could speak. This got me so angry. It's 29-second clip. And he's just a liar. Bold-faced lying. I can't believe this guy's even in this field. Mick West posted this on X. Wow. So here we go. Let me bring him in. So apparently there are loads of videos of clouds that look like UFOs that suddenly up and fly away. That's what Rose Cuckold says. I have never, ever seen that happen. Oh wait, I take it back. I've seen it one time in that movie. What was it? Don't Look Up? What was that movie where this crazy UFO was attacking people? It wasn't a good movie, but it was watchable. That's what he's talking about. Uh-huh.
I've had multiple people have sent me imagery. There's quite famous ones on YouTube where you see what looks like a cloud, and it's shaped just ever so slightly like a disc or a craft, and it's got the fluffy edges of a cloud, and then it suddenly maneuvers.
No, thank you. Tied. You guys tied.
I sometimes wonder
Thanks,
whether
Jeanette and David.
something or someone is using clouds as a form of stealth or signature.
Good job.
I've had multiple people have sent me imagery. There's quite famous ones on YouTube where you see what looks like a cloud, and it's shaped just ever so slightly like a disc or a craft, and it's got the fluffy edges of a cloud, and then it suddenly maneuvers.
Did you hear him? Hear how he lies? Please. I'm going to play it back. You heard, this is one of the easiest lies on a micro expression giggle. Listen to this. It's good. This is a great example. You'll hear it.
And it's shaped just ever so slightly like a disc or a craft, and it's got the fluffy edges of a cloud, and then it suddenly maneuvers.
That's it. Suddenly maneuvers. Why? Why laugh? Why? Because he's lying and he's trying to make it, these crazy UFOs. No, that's not what it is. It's a lie. No, he's not trying to be, jovial. Jovial. I don't know what word to use there, but he's a liar.
And it's shaped just ever so slightly like a disc or a craft, and it's got the fluffy edges of a cloud, and then it suddenly maneuvers and just moves away. And I sometimes wonder...
God, he sounds terrible when he lies, doesn't he?
...whether something or someone is using clouds as a form of stealth or signature management. I've had people...
Someone is using stealth and clouds, and I also wonder whether someone... or something is using clouds as a form of stealth. I'm just gonna lie and say, yeah, they are. Why not say it? Hello? Oh no! Oh no! Look at them stuck! Oh God, now what the hell are they gonna do? Oh, it worked. Unbelievable, Rosie. She's terrible, isn't she? What's up, Ragin? Thank you for the chuckle. No, I'm serious, man. That guy is he's a old whack. Okay, check this out. So, Mick West is really telling it like it is lately. I don't know what got into this guy at this second half of this year. But he's given it to Avi Loeb, and deservedly so. Everybody now is giving it. Oh, all of a sudden now they're giving it. Sorry, Avi, Mick West says. Come on, Rich. He says it's worth noting that 0 planetary scientists gave Avi's claims any credence. Contrary to his complaints, this is not because they are afraid to consider the aliens hypothesis. They're saying he's wrong because he's demonstrably wrong. He's so wrong, it's demonstrably. 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 What did I say? Stradatably? Demonstratively, I said at first, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before. Nobody's ever corrected me. Demonstratively. No. Demonstrably. Demons, trebly. Demonstrably. That is extreme when somebody uses that word, demonstrably, to describe how over the top Avi Loeb is. This guy needs to be fired. If not, he needs to be let go. You see what I did? It's the same thing. All right. It's not my decision. It's up to Harvard. Staying in the same vein, Loeb, Avi, wants to pick on Michio Kaku and NASA. See, Avi Loeb is an entitled shit. He thinks his shit doesn't stink. He's a Harvard professor. He thinks his crap doesn't stink. That's why he's doing this. And you can tell by my crazy smile that maybe I should have been in the movie Smile. You should have been the star. He is absolutely batshit crazy. He is. He really is. He's the only one out of all the other people, scientists, that said what he said. I mean, you can't. All right. Something big just happened, this says, and space watchers are losing it. Oh, is this new? Oh, it's from Casper site. Let me show you this. I'm very excited. This is from Astronomy Vibes on X. What's that? Astronomy. Yeah. And let's go. So I'm going to read this first. So Avi Loeb finally breaks silence on Michio Kaku and NASA. Something big just happened and space watchers are losing it. In a new interview with Ben from Casper site, Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb directly responded to Michio Kaku's claim that the interstellar object, 3I Atlas, is just a 7 billion year old rock covered in space junk. Loeb didn't hold back. He said Kaku hasn't written a single scientific paper on this. He's just trying to be liked and popularize science. That's what Avi Loeb is doing. That's what I was saying. Hey, that's what they do. Rules for me, not for thee. I love entitled people from Harvard. And then he says Loeb didn't hold back. Oh, I already said that. And then came the real twist. Loeb's team actually ran deep space simulations, tracing 3I Atlas's motion through the galaxy. The results? Well, if its 60 kilometers a second speed came from natural causes, it could belong to an ancient stellar population. An ancient stellar population, but if propulsion or controlled ejection is involved, that changes everything. In simple words, if it's natural, it's old. If it's technological, it's powered. How unbelievably stupid people have gotten. This is what they're telling us. Tell me something I don't know. God, they act like we're 5 years old. Did you know that the sky is really clear? What?
He said that the...
Hold on. All right, here we go. I'll have to be quiet for this. It sounds like the volume is a little low for our liking. Okay, I'm going to be shushed.
Reason why that's showing these strange materials is because it's 7 billion years old and it's picked up garbage.
Well, again, he didn't write a single scientific paper on this subject. He's also a commentator, and he's again.
Okay. So what? Look, he's going after his character. That's what the left does. That's what Avi Loeb just did. First thing, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Can I tell you why Avi Loeb just did that? Because he's intimidated. He knows what he's doing and what he's saying about 3i Atlas is mainly BS. He's the only one out of all the other astrophysicists, scientists, and astrologists that said this is probably an alien. I mean, if you applaud that and say that's brave, I have to disagree, only because of the way Avi Loeb has done this. And he did it before with Oumuamua and he didn't learn. That's what bothers me about what Avi Loeb did. There's no reason for him to do it again. He was wrong the first time, and yet he still took the chance. Because why? The only thing that makes sense is that he wants to be that guy that said it. I was the first one that said it. Money, money, money. I should be paid money. That's all he's thinking about. Don't you see? God, it's so obvious this guy doesn't care about whether it's an alien ship or not. He just wanted to say it. Now, if it turns out it is, well, he'll look like a genius. Not to everybody, though. All right, here we go.
Trying to be liked and popularize science.
Right.
It's not as if he's saying that based on any calculation. I wrote a paper with a student of mine where we said, suppose it's a natural object and we were to integrate the trajectory back in time, what kind of stars it should have originated from. And of course, we found that it should have arrived, because it was moving, when it entered the solar system, was moving at 60 kilometers per second. That's a high speed. We found that it should have arrived from the population of old stars in the Milky Way disk, because those stars were kicked around for a longer time, so they have a higher characteristic speed relative to the sun. And so indeed, it should be an old object if it's natural. But even for that, whatever Michio Kaku is saying, even that has a big caveat that he does not even recognize. And that is, in associating the object with a parent star, you are assuming that it inherited the velocity of the star. But in principle, it could have had an ejection speed from the planetary system around the star. So if the ejection speed is large, the star may have a small velocity. And it's just the ejection speed that was large, bringing it to the speed that we observed. So,
wow. Avi Loeb, he is really reaching. This is amazing to me to listen. I can't believe these things he's saying. It's weird. It's just weird. Yes, all that stuff can happen, but he's acting like he knows how it happened. This thing could have been doing 10 times the speed, and maybe it ran into a gravity field, a source, a big planet. It slowed it down, and then maybe it sped up again. He doesn't know. Can you imagine all the ups and downs and ins and outs this thing went through in 7 billion years? Forget about it.
So even saying that the speed indicates an older population of stars has a big caveat to it, and that is this assertion ignores the ejection speed being potentially large relative to the speed of the parent star to start with. So if you ignore the ejection speed and just say that the object inherited the parent star's speed, then it must have been an old star. So there are two things coming in.
Why? Why? Explain why it's got to be an old one. He doesn't explain it. He skips over it rather quickly. Listen.
Ignore the ejection speed and just say that the object inherited the parent star's speed, then
the parent star speed. Then we gotta, then he's just, then go. I gotta forget you. You gotta forget, right? Then
it must have been an old star.
Then it must have been an old star. So then he just, bing, right? He'll make the comment, then bing, right out of there. That's a guy who's not confident. He's just talking out his aspirin. Listen, I'll do it again.
Relative to the speed of the parent star to start with. So if you ignore the ejection speed and just say that the object inherited the parent star's speed, then it must have been an old star. So there are two things coming in: the neglecting the.
No, that doesn't mean it's an old star, whatever. Is that what he's saying?
Object inherited the parent star's speed, then it must have been an old star. So
no, it must have been an old rock, not an old star. Right? Right? Am I wrong? Why would it be an old star? How does that tell us if Atlas maintained or caught up to the speed of the star? How does that make the star old? I don't understand at all, just based on those words I just said. Nobody can explain this unless he explains it. This doesn't make sense what he just said. I'm sorry. This is what I do. I find things that are wrong with what people say, and this is it. It's a bad thing. I hate that I have this sick, disgusting gift. Listen.
Speed being potentially large relative to the speed of the parent star to start with. So if you ignore the ejection speed and just say that the object inherited the parent star's speed, then it must have been an old star.
Why?
So there are two things coming in: the neglecting the ejection speed in the calculation, and secondly, assuming that it's a natural object. Because if it's technological, the speed would have been related to the propulsion system.
Yeah.
What propulsion system? Yes, it would have been relevant to the propulsion system. Absolutely. If they kept it on while they were being tugged by the star's gravity, maybe they turn it off. A lot of ifs, a lot of buts, but no lobes.
Now, also, another frustrating thing for you at the moment, I would imagine, and for a lot of us, is the release of the photos from NASA, right?
Oh, yeah, they haven't released it. And I don't believe that they're doing it on purpose. I think it's just some bureaucratic rule that they have.
That's on purpose. How's that not on purpose? They got a rule in there for this. That's on purpose. Am I wrong again? Is he not living in my world? Am I that far off? Is something wrong with me? Am I not seeing this right? I feel so violated. Listen.
So another frustrating thing for you at the moment, I would imagine, and for a lot of us, is the release of the photos from NASA, right?
Oh, yeah, they haven't released it. And I don't believe that they're doing it on purpose. I think it's just some bureaucratic rule that they have not to release it until the government.
Oh, okay. So NASA's not doing it on purpose. Some bureaucratic bullshit stuff is doing it on purpose. It's being done on purpose. One way or the other. Just say it, AV.
Shutdown ends. And it's really unfortunate because we don't want the politics of the day to suppress progress in science. I mean, they have the data. They should have shared it with the scientific community. It doesn't require a lot of effort. Many of the scientists involved with a high-rise camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance
What's
Orbiter,
up, Dark Hour?
many of them are not NASA employees.
Mm.
Okay, so there must be some bureaucracy within NASA that says you're not allowed to release it until we approve it, and the office that approves it is not working because of the government shutdown. But I should say the acting director of NASA, Sean Duffy, responded to a tweet by Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
When and that was at the same time that I approached the team, and also Representative Anna Paulina Luna wrote a letter, formal letter to Duffy asking for this data to be released. So I didn't get a response, and my point is that there should be a higher priority given to science versus politics, especially when dealing with.
All right, yeah. Look, I get it. He's right, but the government shut down, and that's why you ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. And I love these people. They're like, Atlas is still going through the sky or space. It's not slowing down or stopping because, we're shut down. That thing's going to be gone. We're not going to have the information. NASA's going to have it, hide it, and hold it. And we're not going to know what happened. No, we'll know what happened. They just don't want us to know right now for whatever reason. But they did release them, right?
Important data that could guide us as to how to observe Three Atlas in the future.
Did they release
the highest resolution image we have in terms of it having 30 kilometers per pixel, so it's 3 times better than the Hubble image.
Oh, that's good. Let me see something here. When was this put out? I thought this was just put out today. Yeah, today. Okay, so that's good to know. So they haven't been released then. Okay. For some reason, I could have sworn I saw, maybe it was old black and white photos of space with this thing. But no, I'm going to show you now. I do have new stuff. Here, check this out. This is from yesterday, and I'm going to show you that it turned green. I knew I was right. I knew it. Usually I don't know everything about me, but I'm learning more about me every day. All right, this is only 17 seconds, but this is Avi Loeb. I mean, this is 3i Atlas. We might as well call it 3i Avi. 3i Loeb. Here we go. And that's it. Look, it went, remember when it was blue? This is crazy cool, though. Let me get myself shrunken down, open up. Not that you're going to see anything anymore. Yay. This is it, guys. It's pretty cool if you think about how far away it is.
I'm trying to zoom in.
Yeah, all right. Trying to zoom in my ish. But look at it. It's a beautiful blob. And I got to be honest, are we just taking their words for it? That this is it? Yeah. Yeah, why do they have to lie? Why would they lie? Anybody, all the astronomers around the world can go look at it if they know where to look. So it turned green. That was yesterday. So that's not the NASA photos, is it? Shucky darn. Yeah. My God, we have so much to go over. Okay. One more, 2 more things, one more. All right, we're going to go to James Fox. Oh my God, this guy. Again with he says, could the president of the United States just, wave his magic wand and provide immunity to firsthand witnesses so they can spill their guts at an open hearing under oath to the world? You selfish little man, you. How selfish are you? You grifting Yahoo. See, nobody cares about their well-being. spill your guts literally will be. Yeah, don't do it for James Fox. Please. Just Trump, because you're a king, just wave your magic wand there and provide immunity to firsthand. I mean, you are the best of the best. You're Trump. You're gold, baby. Could the president do that? Could the president provide immunity to firsthand witnesses so they can spill their guts at an open hearing under oath to the world? Are we finally getting UFO disclosure, though? You have to think, are we? I mean, for real, I'm not even joking. Well, James Fox says key witnesses are ready to break NDAs if Trump gives the green light. We're talking alien crafts and bodies, James Fox says. So bizarre. I don't think we have anything. I don't know. Of course, we have stuff. I'm not sure if it's crash retrieval shit, though. I think what it is, I think really they're calling it crash retrieval, but I am going to say it isn't. I believe these are ancient artifacts that are being found with LiDAR and other ways we probably don't even know about with satellites. There's something right now in the works. All that's been going on with the drones we've been seeing, the talk of aliens like I've never heard. Never. We're talking aliens. We got the Moomy Doomies, Jaime Maussan's, Peruvian pieces of shit. That might be real. I've never seen anything so stupid looking in my life, though. That's what, if it looked like a reptilian or a reptilioid, would you believe it even then? I'd believe it a little more than what we're seeing now. Those look like children's dolls with diatomaceous earth all over it. It sucks, man. I want to hear what's being said on Redacted. I think James Fox said some shit. Let's take a listen.
UFO disclosure coming from the U.S. government. UFO researcher and documentarian James Fox has just spoken to a number of key witnesses who've seen and done remarkable things, not only with UFOs themselves, yes, alien craft and the reverse engineering of these craft, but also alien bodies, and they're ready to come forward.
Yeah.
And break their non-disclosure agreements and tell the world if Trump would simply sign their NDAs. Here's Eric Davis. Watch this.
Where's the proof? We have alien spaceships in our possession.
Look
We
at
have
this.
bodies. Where and why can't I get the specifics to verify those claims?
If the President of the United States issued an executive order that absolves me of all of my TSSCI NDAs. NDAs are non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah.
Those are the agreements we have to sign for every
Yeah.
compartment in our SCI clearances. So if the president waives or absolves my obligation to those NDAs, and I get subpoenaed by Congress, somebody on Capitol Hill, some committee, either in the Senate or the House or the both, to reveal everything I know that I learned from my investigations, both unclassified and classified, into the legacy UAP, crash retrieval, and hardware reverse engineering and NHI programs, I would do so.
And you'll be dead in the hour. Within the hour. And your family will be too. That's what the government could do. Why do you think you're going to be protected by anybody? Oh, that's right. You got pardoned. Oh, yeah. We just magically forget who told us all that. I don't remember. It was some guy. He got pardoned. Who was it? Was it Lukatsky? I don't even know that name. Oh, my God. He was pardoned too? Who? Lukatsky. Never heard of him. That's not how it works. They still know who it is and who their families are. Why would these people buy into this stupid bull stuff? Oh, yeah, we're going to sign an NDA, all right, and we're going to put it on a bullet. Idiots.
I would do so. James Fox joins us now. His latest project is called Moment of Contact. New revelations of alien encounters. I think what James is doing is groundbreaking and across many of his documentaries, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that he's become part of our show here, and I love having James on. So, James, welcome back to the show. Great to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I love your work, man, and I got to tell you, I got goosebumps when I saw.
What is this, Dorothy? Dorothy says, "How are you, by the way? Thanks for hanging." Dorothy Dit.55 on X says, Donald J. Trump, POTUS, was declared immune for all acts as president. He was? So why wouldn't he spill the beans? He was? But that's the thing. Let's say that's the truth, and I don't know if it is. I really don't know. I think all presidents are, right? No, not supposed to be. But anyway, neither here nor there. By the way, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that a lot. Dorothy's a continuing supporter of GoofOn. I forgot to mention, if you want to help support Truthology for Ufology, which is GoofOn, which just celebrated 5 years on YouTube. This used to be the Rich Giordano show / then before that it was the Paranormal Code. So we took over about 5 years ago, about 5 months in October. It was, I forgot to talk about, in October 2019? 6 years? I don't know. I think so. 6 years? Oh my God. No, 5 years. What am I talking about? It's 5 years. It doesn't matter. 6 years. God, I'm so stupid. So let's say he was and he spills the beans. How's he going to dodge another bullet? They would still take him out. But what you're saying is, yeah, but he got disclosure out to the people and told everybody the truth. So what he did, right, sacrificed himself for the truth, is what people would say. And then how do we know it's the truth if the government doesn't show it? They have to show it. See, words. We've already heard everything, Dorothy. Everything. We heard it all already. We know there's NHI. We know there's Kraft. We know we're working hand in hand with these fellas from another world or our world. Right? There are pilots who were taking control of these craft. Grush, remember? What about Fravor? He was in a doodla with one of those. Little dogfight. Not really, a spiral. I don't know. And we still haven't seen the Tic Tac, my peeps. We haven't seen a Tic Tac yet. All the videos you see out there are airplanes a little bit out of focus. Sorry. It's true. Thank you, Dorothy. All right, let's listen to the rest.
That clip from your new movie, Moment of Contact, because here you have somebody saying, now the ball's not in my court anymore, right? Like, I've worked on these projects. I'm calling on President Trump to absolve me of these ridiculous NDAs, which I think are horrible to begin with. And let's tell everyone what I've been working on. And I think I got chills.
Now imagine an event in the near, not so distant future where you have 10 more of him making a plea to President Trump, and then you have firsthand witnesses to crash retrievals. Think about that scenario.
And is that about to happen? So, I mean, maybe you're
I think
letting the cat out of the bag a little.
By the way, James Fox has been wrong on every claim he's ever made. Isn't that sad? We never saw the alien in that one movie, remember? The glowing eyes and all that, the girls.
A little bit, 10 more, just like Eric Davis. That could be.
There's big plans. This is not just another documentary coming out. This is a movement behind the documentary, and I think Age of Disclosure, Dan Farah, is going to really kick the doors open because it's got a much more mainstream appeal. But one of the things that we did with this new version of Moment of Contact, it's got an entirely brand new 20-minute opening, which I really felt like.
James Fox just said the other guy's movie is better than mine because it's got more mainstream appeal. Like, great way to advertise yourself, you schmohawk.
People's frustration with the congressional hearings, you've got, in 2023, you've got this high-level intelligence officer, David Grush, and he's making these extraordinary claims of alien...
And no evidence.
Aliens in captivity, alien spacecraft, and not really necessarily, certainly openly, providing the details needed to verify those claims. Obviously, there's a lot more going on in the skiff behind the scenes. I talked to Eric Burles, Congressman Burleson, recently about going into a skiff with Grush. I said, "How was it?" He goes, "Pretty good."
How come every time Burchett goes into a skiff or Luna, they come out saying, "I don't know why we went in there. We could have said that right out here." Whatever, How come? But when these people from that side of ufology, you hear, they come out of the skiff. So how was it with Grush?
Opening.
Yeah.
You schmuck. Look at this guy. Sad. I used to really like him, but he sold out. No, he did. He really did. He's just trying to hit home run after home run. I mean, what's wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. But you get blinded. You get tunnel vision, and then you lose focus on what your peripherals are supposed to help you out with. Everything works together, even the small stuff. That's what I used to like about his movies. His attention to the small stuff was cool. He got away from it. He's just trying to hit a home run.
Yeah.
So, and now we have, for the first time in history, this has never happened before. I mean, I've made a lot of documentaries. We've got a neurosurgeon, not anonymous, revealing his identity publicly. He still works at the hospital, and he's claiming face-to-face contact with a live alien and communication for 4 minutes at Regional Hospital. And he's
okay. Just go on YouTube and tell everybody. Make a channel. Go on YouTube. Why do people need to get paid to tell their story? Fox paid them for the documentary. This is why I hate this field sometimes, man. If you got something and you want to be a whistleblower, either you do it all the way or don't do it at all. Hiding behind, everything. The movie. What is that thing they have to go in? They have to talk to somebody before they're allowed to even be a whistleblower. Dopser? Is it Dopser? Unreal.
He's still the head neurosurgeon there today.
So he hasn't been fired. We have a clip of that, I believe. This is part of your documentary. Here's the neurosurgeon, and it's subtitles. So,
oh my God, where's this guy from?
I'll just read the screen here. But here is that Brazilian doctor.
Oh my God, it's from Brazil. Oh, of course. This is going to be so legit.
Meu nome é Ítalo Venturelli.
Oh my God, this guy? I think somebody just knocked on my front door.
Estudei em São Paulo. Eu fiz neurologia, neurocirurgia. Fiz mais de 5.000 cirurgias. Só queria deixar essa mensagem que eu realmente vi. No dia eu fui ver como se eu tivesse ido ver um paciente, e não era um paciente, realmente era um alien, claramente um alien. O crânio era em forma de gota, os olhos em forma de gota. Eu fui ver um paciente, achando que era um humano. E eu vi ali um ser maravilhoso de um mundo que eu não conheço. Me pergunto se estava sofrendo, ele não estava sofrendo, se ele estava entendendo, ele estava entendendo. Muito calmo, muito tranquilo, olhou para mim como se entendesse tudo que eu estava pensando.
Now we gotta stop. This is absolutely hilarious. How does this guy know what the alien is feeling? These are the questions you have to ask yourself.
Eu realmente vi. No dia eu fui ver como se eu tivesse ido ver um paciente.
I went in to see a patient and it was not a patient, it was real. It was really an alien, clearly an alien. Cranium shaped like a teardrop, eyes shaped like a teardrop. I went to see a patient thinking it was a human. Yeah, you just said that. And I saw there were a magnificent being from a world unknown to me. All right. How does he know? It's from a world unknown to him. How does he know? Amazing to me, isn't it? It's almost as if he was told what to say or read a script or is acting or lying or even worse.
Ali ser maravilhoso de mundo que eu não conheço. Me pergunto se estava.
I was wondering if he was suffering. He was not. He knows if he's been in pain or not. So he's Santa Claus. If he was cognizant, he was. He was? How do you know? You know the ins and outs of an alien's personality within a minute? Within a minute? This guy's amazing. Call Kreskin. We found one.
Sofrendo, ele não estava sofrendo, se ele estava entendendo.
The amazing Kreskin was a psychic and, a magician, basically.
Ele estava entendendo. Muito calmo, muito tranquilo, olhou para mim como se entendesse.
Like it understood what I was thinking entirely. Look, it wouldn't be that hard, I can tell you that, Baldy.
Tudo que eu estava pensando. Eu acho bacana.
It's nice to share this, to explain that there are these things out beyond our imagination. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can make up anything nowadays and get away with it. To me, it was very important to see it because I saw the immensity of the universe. It's not just us here in such a wonderful world. There must be many other worlds, and that being was proof of it. What if we're living in a shithole? How do we're calling this shithole a beautiful place? Have you ever seen 311 17 412 Magnificent? Now that's a planet. I don't know. There must be many other worlds, because that being was proof of it.
Your reaction when you were learning that from him?
Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, so we went back to Brazil a number of times since the film came out because this is an ongoing investigation for me. I've been at it 16 years. My partner, Marco Leal's been at it 22 years. The more we dig, the more we uncover. And we met with two forensic pathologists, Dr. Armando, who did the autopsy on the deceased military officer, who got a scratch under his arm from the creature. It wasn't anything malicious. He just grabbed it and he got a little scratch and he died a couple weeks later. That bacteria had got.
Oh my gosh, there's gotta be a record with photographs Yeah? I bet you there isn't.
Got into his bloodstream and killed him. He was 23 years old. And then the forensic pathologist who actually founded the company IPD that performed the tissue samples, studied the tissue samples from the deceased military officer, Dr. Giannini, just came forward for the first time on camera to participate in the film, saying in all the years they've been doing what they're doing, they've never seen a bacteria perform like this. It was an advanced bacteria, an evolved bacteria.
Okay, this is scaring the ever-loving Shiite Muslim out of me.
Never seen anything like it before.
Are you kidding me? This was here? And we didn't shut down the country? The world? Wow. I guess in Brazil, that's just old hat to them. But for the rest of the world, my Lordicus.
Never seen anything like it since. They gave us a full detailed autopsy report with comments below, which we're in the process of having transcribed. And we'll be making those available to the public as well.
It better say, out of this world bacteria, never seen before bacteria, unusual bacteria. It doesn't exist bacteria on this planet bacteria. I want to see that in the movie. I don't want to see he had an unusual bruise that turned into a deep in his sepsis, and then it had poisoned his body and his heart and his blood, and he died. I don't want to hear that. I want the truth. I want to know what happened to this mother fool. All right, it's exciting. I'll put the link to that in the show description so you guys can watch it at your leisure. We got more to do. I got a lot more to go over. All right, Trump is in contact with the Galactic Federation. I know this is not true. Please. Can you believe that Trump's in contact? And gosh, all over Galactic Federals. Check this out. I don't know what I'm saying tonight. Forget about me. All right, James Lukatsky. Oh, hold on. Just connect the dots. A high-level insider said Trump is in contact with the Galactic Federation, but was told to wait to disclose. Yeah, I remember this. Trump alluded to a higher authority that prevents him from disclosing UFOs and those mysterious drones, remember? Trump wants disclosure, but Elder Ikai must signal the shift before humans are ready to receive it. Listen to this. I don't know where people get their information. I really don't know. Check it out.
And he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
Well, I know I can't tell you who it was and what it was, but I can't really tell you. I'd love to tell you, actually, but it's not a big deal.
It's not something frightening.
No, but I just, so obviously it's something that I know about, and it's not a problem at all.
And he says,
wasn't that about the drones, though? That was about the drones, I thought. Well, anyway, Trump ain't gonna do it. It's gonna have to be a democratical president if the government is going to disclose with the president's approval. It's not gonna happen from a Republican. I'm sorry. It's just the way these bastards are. That's right, I said that, dot. I am an independent, truly, by nature. But I've gotten so... Well, you know what happened. All right, Jeremy Corbell. This is, well, we'll talk about dreams in a minute. We got plenty of time, I tell you. Maybe, let me see. So, check this out. Some guy named Captain D posted this. And I think we mentioned it here and there tonight about Atlas's, what's going on, NASA pictures. Total silence from NASA. The Chinese Europeans, and others. That tells me that they and world religious leaders are struggling 24/7 to come up with a story they can sell the Earth's population about 3i Atlas as it grows ever closer in December. December, what is it, 15th? Right? Isn't that when it's coming? Yeah, it was my old dog's birthday. Yeah. Yeah, he died at 16. Yeah, he was 16. All right, what else we got? Oh, here it is. I meant to pull this up. Jeremy Corbell. So they had weaponized on, right? Last week, 6 days ago. And Lukatsky was back on. And I wanted to play the first few minutes of this program because it's important that we hear it. This is really weird. I find this whole thing weird. I'll explain.
So Jim, it's been a couple years since you've been on Weaponized, almost to the day, and you really shocked everybody with your allowed ability to say certain things, and we'll get into that.
Yep.
But I wanted to first say, you were asked to speak in front of Congress. It was a time when you couldn't, but I did officially call you on behalf of Congress and ask, would you be willing to testify?
I was wondering where the music was coming from. Why does he have it on so loud?
Even if it's...
Do you hear this?
It's just in a skiff and it's behind closed doors compared to public. But, Congress was really interested to hear what you had to say. Now, you saw George give a full statement in front of Congress about his history with the UFO topic. And I get a sense today you want to give us a statement right now, something that maybe you would say to Congress if you were doing a public hearing. Is that correct?
I would be able to say this. I'm saying it now, or will be in a few moments.
Okay.
Please be kind, Jim.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right, here we go.
Okay, well, I'm going to do the whole thing and excuse my looking down and reading. So, as way of background, I was the creator and DIA program manager of OSAP, the Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Applications Program, and of the follow-on Kona Blue program, KBP, both classified programs, regardless of what the internet has said in the past, both classified. Now, other than your invitation, guess that would have been 2 months ago now, no one from the House Oversight UAP Investigational Committee of Congress has ever, after multiple hearings, contacted me. Right at the beginning, I had a phone call where a young lady and her partner, a male, who never said another word other than introducing himself, went through a checklist and said, what did I think of these people? Well, as a professional, what am I supposed to say? They're great or they're rotten. I just gave a generic answer. So now here's the thing that's very important. And I want to use that as a proper term. The public's, yours, George's, and my testimony is contained in the books. They are complete. I'll tell you in a moment how difficult that was to do, but they are complete. That's everything that I have been approved to say condensed into what will be 1,200 pages. So those books are Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, Inside the U.S. Government Covert UFO Program, Initial Revelations, the new book, New Insights, and the also approved future book, let's say at 4 months, 6 months, Future Visions. Now, that is a complete package. That's all I could ever say to the Congress, and they can read it and know 100 times more than they're ever going to get from hearings. Okay, now, George had a good point on the next statement. These books are not written in the traditional sense. They're assembled. They are not about questionable, I added that word, questionable flying saucer stories, paranormal tales, or fanciful descriptions of strange visitors from other worlds. They are not my beliefs, conjecture, or opinion, nor are they the attention-seeking babble from the internet, podcasts, or written articles or books by individuals who are not affiliated with OSAP. You're surprising who is coming out of the woodwork, and I don't even know those people, claiming association and lack of knowledge of the program's.
I have to stop it. Is it me, or is this very boring? He's not good. I forgot how bad he was. I'm having a hard time following it, so I'm assuming some of you probably are like pulling your hair out as well. There's only a few minutes left. So let's just see what he says.
True nature. Instead, the books factually detail the results of OSAP's day-to-day activities assembled only from official government files at DIA and approved for release by the Department of Defense or War. Now, Colin Kelleher, as program manager at BASS, the contractor, was dealing with 30,000 pages of information. To submit to me at DIA, he reduced that, as you know, to 7,500 pages, the 115 documents. I have further reduced that to what will be a total of 1,200 pages so far. And now here's something most people don't seem to realize. If you have the free version of Kindle, I make about 50 cents a book. If you buy a full printed copy, I make $1.50. And believe me, in this niche market, I am not laughing all the way to the bank. It was a lot of work to basically earn what in the Washington area is minimum wage. I, by the way, would have to be selling 80 books a day to keep up with minimum wage if I had a full-time job at a fast food restaurant. Now, let's speak about DIA. DIA FOIA states that the 7,500 pages cannot be found so that the public can directly read them. They'll be a difficult read. They were written for me, but surprise, surprise, no one has contacted me to obtain copies for redaction. They could. I and 12 other people have them. Just not bothering, or is there something more to this?
Huh?
These books are our, me, you, and George, effort to further disclosure and are much more revealing than any congressional hearings have been so far. Now, this is my way of cataloging this or segmenting this. At the hearings and on the internet, there are 4 classes of individuals that I've observed. Truthful descriptions of observations, but sometimes they are fooled by classified weapons testing or counterintelligence activities. That's fine. There are delusions, either from within their own minds or from, and I can't go into this, external influences. Unfortunately, in Category 3, there are...
Someone just burped in the microphone, and it sounded like George. Listen.
This or segmenting this. At the hearings and on the internet, there are 4 classes of individuals that I've observed. Truthful descriptions of observations, but sometimes they are fooled by classified weapons testing or counterintelligence activities. That's fine. There are delusions, either from within their own minds or from, and I can't go into this, external influences. Unfortunately,
there it was. Did you hear it?
In category
In 6 seconds, listen.
Minds or from, and I can't go into this, external influences. Unfortunately, in category 3, there are outright liars. They're unfortunately the minority. To some, I can tell you directly and by observing, raising the right hand is meaningless. The most dangerous, however, and prolific are individuals who have no idea what they are talking about, but speak with authority. Those are the ones you, George, and the public have to watch out for. Very hard to discriminate versus, are they liars? Are they delusional?
Yes.
Or do they have purpose?
No.
And remember, it is so, I alone have 5 to 10 emails. It is so easy to appear as a different person in the counter intel world.
Yeah, we know we saw Lou Eliganzo do it. Thanks for reminding us, Lekansky.
Okay, now here's a tough statement. I don't suspect, wonder, or harbor any suspicion that false statements have been made to Congress, to the Pentagon, to you, the press, and on...
Hold on. Did he just say all false statements he denounces? Hold on. Isn't that what he just said? More or less. Oh, come on, Rich.
False statements have been made to Congress, to the Pentagon, to you, the press. And remember, it is so, I alone have 5 to 10 emails. It is so easy to appear as a different person
Here we go.
in the counter intel world.
No.
Okay, now here's a tough statement. I don't suspect, wonder, or harbor any suspicion that false statements have been made to Congress, to the Pentagon, to you, the press, and on the internet.
And the same goes for me.
I know they have been. I know it. Deliberately false, not just incorrect documents have been created about OSAP and Kona Blue and are currently in government files. This is a surprise and a first statement. I have reported there's a lot of it, some of the false information to the DOD/DOW Inspector General's office, providing the evidence. I requested that IG take no action against the individuals. No action because the falsehoods against, this is another strange one, against OSAP and Kona Blue, to my mind, have been ineffective. The initial reporting, let's go back to the day one, of the New York Times story in 2017 was totally inaccurate. Contrary to what some people claim, the authors knew my name and position at OSAP, yet never attempted to contact me. Likewise, the Washington Post. Politico contacted me within hours after the articles were published in the 3 publications, asking for my opinion. They knew my name. They had my phone number. Why didn't they contact me? Now, the Pentagon states that ATIP, really OSAP, was not a UFO program. They've changed their tune, but the Pentagon has never asked me about anything. They circumvented me and went to my colleagues, but not me. News reporters call me literally within the last week to this day, but only after the fact. There's no CNN, no Fox, CBS requests, nothing. Now, I don't like to be out there in the public view, but let's face it, you're not talking to the program managers, myself for a column on the 2 major UFO programs in the relatively recent past.
Well, now, we are.
Oh, you are. And right now, I'm basically limiting it to you because after my name and position in OSAP was prominently mentioned by George twice in the recent September congressional hearings, no contact has come from anyone except a known anti-disclosure reporter. In the second mentioning at the hearing, my integrity was questioned and George had to defend it. I have been requested to meet with AARO twice and have refused.
Yeah, we know this. Pretty amazing. Jim Lakatsky's something else, man. He's something else. He's been inside a UFO, you know? And I like the story. Oh, man, I want to believe him, but does he have a reason to lie is what I ask myself. Yeah. To further the narrative. That's what they're doing. We're never going to see it, right? I mean, we've heard there's bodies. What? Yeah, pilots. Remember Grush? Oh, yeah. So let's move up a little bit in the video here and take a list here.
Welcome to Fight Club, man. I'm a veteran. Yes. It's okay to be challenged.
I told Jim, Jeremy, good gosh, you got to run with that. Imagine DIA had a vampire in charge of its UFO program. That is a hell of a headline. That would sell a lot of books.
So might as well have a vampire.
That's right.
Too. But the next thing on my sheets are something George asked about the major cases that I think are in the book and the strange things that I looked at in the book. But you probably, Jeremy, already have those.
Yeah.
So ask away. Remember, again, I'm limited to what's been approved.
Yeah.
But each time you're going to get more and more because I'm for disclosure.
See, I don't like that. What does that mean? Why doesn't he give us more and more now? Give us the extra 20% you're going to give next year. Now. Well, you know why. He's got to work it, man. He's got to work these people that are preventing him from talking about this stuff, and they want it to go out slowly, and they want people to understand the truth, if that's even possible, with all the misinformation and disinformation we get from all sorts of people.
But I'm not uncontrolled. I want the public to be steered properly, not in for any bad reasons, but people are not learning what they need to know because they're getting bogged down. And by the way,
you know, I don't know. I kind of like the guy.
When people agree with negative observations about either of those programs on the internet, who are you dealing with? Who are you really dealing with?
You don't know.
So in any case, ask away.
Yeah, I mean, I got like a bunch right off the bat from what you just said. I think if I were to summarize in my language what you're saying is that you are realizing there is a sort of human intelligence campaign that is going on, that it's insidious, that it's prolific, and that it's doing a good job of trying to dissuade and move the public from understanding any core reality about UFOs. Is that true?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm
true.
glad you caught up because George and I know for a fact that this has been going on, and we know that AARO is a big part of it. And from what you just said, without you naming names or identifying specific organizations, it's very clear to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you believe AARO to be more of a counterintelligence program than anything else, right?
They're participating. Now, the individual whose email I read is very experienced in that area, but may honestly believe they have authorities they're claiming. Well, I tell you, there's some organizations in the intelligence community who claim all kind of authorities that they do not have. And so you have to be cautious when people's managers tell them that, and what are they going to do? Say, oh, no, we don't. No, they're going to, as best they can, not circumvent their managers, but play it down. Because they don't have the human can be openly discussed because by who we have that authority. No way.
Okay, let's clarify for our audience. So, George, I got about 5 quick things based on what he said, and I just want to get to them.
This should be good.
Let's try to make this like really clear question and answer because there was so much you just said. But so first and foremost, AARO was aware of the security review status of your books. So somehow they're
apparently and directly stated it. They were the first 2 were not sent there. I was asked for them and they bought copies. Now, why is Doxer communicating that to them?
Huh.
That's a big question. I don't know the answer. Are they just interested in getting it quickly?
Yeah. No.
Well, I don't know. It feels kind of meddling. And so I want to put on top of that something I noticed, which is in the last hearing, when George and I were nominating people and going through reviews with them and security reviews with them and introducing them to people and going through all these meetings, one thing I said, and they promised me, is that Arrow would not be involved in any way. No communication to Arrow. This is just free going to Congress. People could know that their information would not be shared with Arrow. That turned out not to be true. There was a leak in Congress where they were directly sharing information of people that George and I were nominating. And in some cases, people were contacted, for kind of pre-reviews with Arrow. So Arrow was meddling, and I actually put in a request for this to be followed down by Congress. So now we're seeing another infiltration of Arrow from the human intelligence perspective. But I might not fully understand that. You said something. You said in Arrow's letter to you, they said, we can even discuss HUMINT. And you go, huh? Can you explain what is concerning about that to our audience?
HUMINT is controlled by the organization that gathers the HUMINT. They cannot cross the lines in discussing it without a ton of paperwork. I went in and out of HUMINT constantly because I couldn't use it in my documents. I mean, I was reading it and it was like, well, what's good's this? I can't share it in my documents. Same here. I can't just go to Congress. Mr. Borland summarized it very well when he was directly asked, can you talk to us in a SCIF? And he said, well, if you have the clearances, the proper clearances and your subcategories and whatever that you need that I have, that he has, I can talk to you. Well, good luck in getting those.
Right.
All right. I'm going to leave the link to the rest of that video in the show description so you can go run over and watch it as soon as this show ends. So, in the beginning of tonight's live stream, I was talking about a bunch of stuff. I was talking about dreams and reality, and that's why the thumbnail I posted for tonight's show is my quote-unquote dreams or reality. I don't know. Everything about what happened to me tells me it was real. And that is really weird. Because when you have dreams, when you wake up, it was a dream. Like you go, wow, that was real. What a dream. Because something's out of the ordinary. Like, the people you're talking to, you can't see their faces, or you can only see what's in front of you. Everything else is gray. That kind of stuff. I mean, that kind of sets it off for me. I know in my dreams, it's like a video game. I'm limited, and every step I take, it seems to create more reality behind it in front of me. So that didn't happen, man. In my dreams, whatever, reality thing, I woke up from pain in my ear. I remember waking up this ear. I still get twitches in that ear, believe it or not. It's weird. Very, very painful, loud. I call it a squelching noise. I can't do it, but wow, was it piercing. It's worse than nails on a chalkboard. So I open my eyes and I see the blue beam on the headboard. And I want to turn around to see where it's coming from because I know it's coming from behind me. So I see this beam because it's in my ear. I go like this. I lift my head. The beam felt like it was still in my ear. I turn. I look right at the beam. Hello. It even had a white tip that sparkled like a sparkler on the 4th of July. Very, very cool. I remember going, whoa. And I was transfixed on this thing, and I followed it all the way into the arm of the alien that was holding it. The beam, the gun, whatever. But you hear what I'm saying? I followed it backward. Like, what beam does that? Right? I mean, do we have any beams that grow and come in? No. It would be like a lightsaber if we did. So I see the reflection on the skin of the being. I saw the being as I'm looking. And I see half of it. It's left side, and it looked like it had veins. Not veins, but it was like circles. You know how there's some, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I could see in it. I could see its innards for a second. It took like a second, but I saw all that. It's amazing the detail you get. So, okay. And then I freaked out. I turned around to look to see if my wife and the dog are watching this happen, and they were still out sleeping. And then I turned back around, no alien. And I went, oh, wow, no way, no way. And I turned on the light there, the light right outside the door for the hallway. Boop, turned on the boop. The dog, my wife. But what's going on? I go, you're not going to believe it. And she goes, why? And I go, you're not going to believe the dream I just had. I don't know if it was a dream. I said, alien? She says, I go, I don't know. Anyway, it was fun. And that will never leave my brain. This was done for a reason, and I don't get it. And I think it was to enlighten me to a doubtful world that I will soon visit in the near future, when you die. I felt like that's what I was giving not a preview of, but in a behind the scenes. Like I saw Behind the Fourth Wall. You ever see that movie, The Assessment Bureau, I believe it's called? They wear these hats that can make them go through doors. They've been around for thousands of years, monitoring mankind, making sure we do they can see the future in these books, and it's a really interesting story. What is it? The Assessment Bureau? No, it's not the assessment. It's something bureau. And it reminds me of that. They could make you spill your coffee so you're late for a very important meeting so you won't get the job. Because if you got the job, it would have ruined everything they had planned for you. Things like that. That's, in my mind, I think that's where I get the, part of me. The little things matter in life. It's kind of one of those things. Adjustment Bureau, Nathan. Thank you. Yeah, adjustment. What did I say? The Adjustment Bureau. Yeah, because they're adjusting time and everything. It's such a great, Matt Damon is in it. And that other girl, with the lips and the hair. It's a good movie. I've seen it, I don't know, 3 times because it was free on HBO for a month or so. It was good. I also like I, Robot. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that Will Smith movie, but it's hard to get away from that slap. But anyway, dreaming really messes with us. And then, people have written books about dreams, and there's so many, what do dreams mean? And if you were born in this month under this sign and you have a dream about this, it means this. And oh my God, there's so much to learn. And then I did a little experiment. You may have seen this experiment done by James Randi in a psychology class that the teacher had him in as a guest, and he gave, I I can't remember exactly, but he gave everybody a piece of paper, and not to put their name on it, but to say what sign they are and how they see themselves in the future and 5 years from now and all that stuff, right? So then they gathers up all the papers, hands them back out randomly, and nobody knows whose name is where, and nobody can tell who wrote what. And they all thought they got their own paper back. Yeah, I can't explain how it worked, but they thought it was about them. I'm like, wait a minute, but it's not. It's about that person. And then that's when James Randi's like, yep. And that's what psychics do, is use this type of technique to distract you. And I'm like, yeah, right. That's pretty wild stuff. I don't like that at all. I want to know how it's done, and I need to know now. There's just things we'll never understand. Being human. That's something we have to live with. Every now and then I get really paranoid that when death comes, I think about this all the time. Am I going to sit there and am I going to see guardian angels before I die? Are they going to let me know? Because I know a lot of people with dementia. My grandmother had it, and Alzheimer's, and she saw all of her friends and all these dead people right before she died. Like just a couple of weeks before she died. It wasn't happening. She was hallucinating before, but not dead people. You know? Then all of a sudden, all these angels came, and we knew she was going to go. So I don't know. I see so many strange things and so many odd stories. There's something out there. That's it. That's all there is. And whether dreams are giving us an inside peek into the fourth wall, over the fourth, into the fourth wall, behind the scenes, Wizard of Oz type stuff, it's just a guy behind a curtain with a microphone playing God. Is it that simple? I bet you it is. I bet you it's so simple, it's impossible to figure out. That's what we're living in. We're living in a reality, and we think it's really, I think it's beautiful. This world, this life, the wind. It was windy today and cold. I just absorbed it. It was been hot all summer. We finally had a really cold day. It got down to 34 last night. It's going to be down 30 to 29 tonight. That's cold for Florida. It just blows my mind that cold Arctic air came from a place thousands of miles away and got pushed into the tropical moisture of the Bermuda Triangle. There, I said it. It's bizarre. And this whole world moves in perpetual motion. And we're just standing on this old blue rock, this marble. I hate that. And yeah, it's crazy. If you really think about it. When you die, I don't know. When my uncle died, it bothered me. He was treated just like a piece of meat. People, they go through this stuff every day, I guess, hospice and stuff. Yeah, I didn't like it. But it was like, that's it. 86 years. At least you had a full life. There you go. What are we having for dinner, Ma? Well, that's how it felt. I didn't like it. I know it might be like that for me. I don't have a lot of family left. When my mother and father pass, it's just me and my sister. That's it. And my two cousins to my aunt, my mother's sister, who are 65-ish. So I really don't have much here after my parents go. So I'm thinking of this last night and the night before, and I'm like, man, you really come into this world. You come in naked and cold into a room with strangers, and it's a boy, and you're like, cold, and you're freezing, and the first experience in your life is like white lights and a cold room and somebody who wants to hold me. But before that, they got to clean you up, put you in a blanket, roll you up like a Tootsie Roll, put you on a stick and smoke you. And then they give you to this person. Oh, and you look up and you're like, oh, I know that sound. That's mommy. And then the bond. And then you live life. Hopefully you're healthy and enjoy the small things, the big things, the strange things. This is what I love about living, is that there's so much to do. I'll never see it all if I live 10 lifetimes on this little rock where we're floating around. There's so many things we don't understand yet. Here we are. Still trying to figure it out after all these years. And what? Where are we? What do we know? Seriously, what do we know? We don't have any evidence, like real evidence for the aliens. Where's the UFO? We don't know. Area 51, S4? Don't know. Right, Patterson? I said I don't know. Is it Antarctica? Don't know. Under the water? Don't know. Is it on the moon? Maybe. I don't know. What about ghosts? Don't know. They could be aliens. I know, but I don't. Huh? I don't know. What do you know? You want to know what I know? That something strange happens every day on this planet. Does it not? Doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. And people are capturing it on their cameras, their doorbell cams, their dash cams, their security cams, and so on. And you can't deny every one of those to be fake. Even if just 1% out of all of the thousands, do you know how many there are? Thousands of real videos. Think about that. In between all the fakes, all the lies, all the hoaxes, there's thousands of real video out there. What does that tell you? That this planet is one spiritual mother poop. It is. It's a spiritual ball of mystery wrapped in an atmosphere that we could keep clean and live for a very long time. Suck up all the resources off this planet till there's no more. And then we'll go to Mars. I don't know what's going to happen in 1,000 years, but we got to go. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Thank you, moderators. I think I forgot a super chatter. Hold on, let me backtrack. Wow, you guys are talking up a storm for a small group of bandits. Where is it? I'm going to have to go to the Earn page. Wow. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Oh, there's the last one was Dorothy. Dip Dut. Let me check real quick. But we'll be back tomorrow. And Rich Saves America tomorrow. I did an audit today, and it was amazing fun. It was awesome. The cop came. We went to a dispensary. We went to McDonald's. And that was just going back to our car. And I'm like, why don't we chill here for a second? I go, look how busy McDonald's is. Let's see what happens. We met the nicest people on planet Earth today. I tell you, it almost brought tears to me. I must be getting super emotional again in my life because that was fun, seeing people like appreciate what we were doing. So that was Dorothy. Yeah, that was the only one? Okay. I didn't see any. Come on. Touch me, baby. Thank you, everybody. That's it. And remember, I almost said rights are like muscles. Hold on. Yeah, this UFO world we live in. Yeah, we need evidence. And a lot of people are looking at their phones all day long. I just want to say this, and I'll say it every night. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Understand? Capiche? Amazing, you people. What do you mean, you people? You know what I mean. Well, have a good night. Here we go. We're going to leave you with the FAFO intro, outro, my peeps. We'll see you tomorrow night. Giddy up. Alien bless.
Censorship, lockdowns, all your control. Built your throne on a house of